According to NTU, software engineers are those who apply their knowledge of programming languages as well as some engineering principles to build system solutions for end users. Now imagine having a system that could do all that with probably just a click of a button. In as much as that makes life easier, it comes with a series of questions like, how we depend on it? Is it sustainable? And most importantly, will it take the jobs of software engineers? So in this video, we're going to discuss all that and more. Keep watching to find out more. Introducing Devin AI, the world's first AI software engineer developed by Cognition Corporation. Devin AI is a tool that encompasses all the processes of software engineering and just gives you a single system. It takes the workload of you trying to just develop the app by entering the codes and handling bugs and doing all those things, down to even deployment as claimed by Cognition. Now, let's look at what Devin AI can do. Cognition claims that Devin can handle the software engineering lifecycle, which starts from concept down to deployment. Let me just break down what that means. When trying to develop a software, you don't just rush and go to the computer and start typing codes. There has to be a planning phase where you plan out the flow of the application, trying to know, okay, from this is where the application goes to, and in such cases, like how we handle errors or how we handle exceptions or how we handle situations that could probably arise in like unforeseen circumstances. So imagine a company coming to claim that they can handle all those tasks from the concept part. I don't really know if that's what they meant, but from concepts down to deployment. Deployment could be handled by AI, but the concept aspect is what I am questioning. But Devin claims, Cognition claims they could handle from concepts to deployment, but who knows? Secondly, it helps you to automate repetitive tasks like coding, testing, and bug fixing. I believe that statement because we're talking about AI. AI generally helps us to handle repetitive tasks, no question. But when it comes to bug fixing, I don't really believe that, because there are some bugs that don't even come up as bugs. When developing software, there are some bugs that are bugs, but they don't show up as bugs. They don't show up as errors. The computer or the system keeps running and keeps doing as if it's actually everything is okay. But it only takes that human intuition, that's human reasoning to know, okay, hey, there's something wrong here. It's not supposed to do this. It's not supposed to do that. So for Cognition to claim that this is way to handle bug fixing, I don't know the extent to that. And who knows? Again, who knows? It's still in the testing phase, so anything can happen. 3, it works alongside AI. It works alongside software engineers as a team member, which, yeah, that's it. It's supposed to help our tasks. It's just like going to a car manufacturing industry and getting robots working alongside humans, but the humans tell the robots what to do. So in such case, the robots are helping the humans, team members. I don't know yet, but that's what it means. So yes, this whole statement is true for me because I feel Why not? It's AI, and that's what computers are supposed to do, by the way, to help us. Number four is that it helps to, it learns over time and thereby increasing efficiency of whatsoever it is that we do. And I strongly believe this. AI is all about data. The bigger the data, the more the efficiency, and that's what happens when even when you clone your voice, the longer the voice sample you provide, the more like it sounds like you. So in such cases, I am trying to reason how this could work out. It's possible because there are several like software developers with their own style of writing codes. So there are people who, even though the general rule of thumb is you should comment, you should always comment on your codes for other developers to be able to do stuff about it when you're not there. Or there are developers that feel I always enjoy that indentation, and it's also a rule of thumb, which ideally is supposed to be done. And then there are some developers that like just adding some Easter eggs in their codes, just probably like art to know this guy made this. So I feel if that AI is to learn and adapt from what you have been feeding it with, where are you even feeding it from? Then, I mean, cognition keeps claiming that it's going to just provide the codes, it's going to just spit out the codes based on the idea you've given it. So I feel it's going to learn from the idea you keep giving it. If you keep telling it you want a button that has some round edges and you enjoy using Bootstrap for your styling, then it probably just sees, hey, this guy loves Bootstrap and this guy loves rounded edged buttons. So the next time the guy tells me add a button, I don't need to ask what kind of button. I already know what to do. Maybe that's the kind of learning, but it's going to be very cool to actually achieve that. There is something that the company did to test out Devin. They applied for a job they bidded for a job on Upwork, a development work, obviously, used Devin to implement it and gave the client, and the clients never knew that this was done by an AI, a very intelligent one at that. So it's all on their website. I mean, them talking about Devin used in real life situations to handle cases on its own. And I also really believe that based on the kind of input given to it. So let's say you have a client that really knows what they want and they're giving you the full details of how they want these things to be. It's fine. Devin can do that. You can just tell it, you can just copy whatsoever it is that the client has given, paste it there and say, this is what you want, and it brings it up. Fine. But you can always face clients that don't really know completely what they want. They just have an idea. And they are the majority of clients that you face as a software developer. You have to be the one telling them or giving them ideas on what's best and what's not advisable. So I feel this is true, but it applies only to those who are imputing enough info for it to work with. So let's talk about the impact and implications of this great milestone in the software development industry, because whether we like it or not, it's a milestone and it can't just go away. And I believe there are more that will come up. So number one is that it increases productivity based on the speed of execution. So if you have a project that was supposed to take 3 weeks to complete, with Devin, I'm sure it's going to be far, far less than that. I'm talking about days, and it's going to take days, majorly because when you feed Devin with whatever it is that you wanted to do, you have to still show the client that this is what you've done so far. What do they think needs changed, or what areas do they feel needs to be modified? And that modification request by the client is what you still feed Devin. I'm not even talking about. I believe you can even execute an entire project in 24 hours and probably even deploy it by Devin, since Cognition claims it can do that deployment. Another implication is the questions it raises about whether it's going to take the jobs of software engineers. This is my take on AI in general, not just Devin, but I've always had this take, and I'll always keep saying it. We can't see AI as a competition. That's not the best way to see it. We should stop seeing AI as a competition. We should stop seeing AI as a threat to our jobs. What makes you indispensable is the creativity that you always come up with. Let's give an instance. Let's go away from Devin for a second and talk about video editors using AI. If you notice, video editors right now are still not so good, because when you just type in something and you tell it, create this video, it's going to just get stock footage and attach it to that. But it still needs you to impute or to tell it, this is not right, this doesn't match the scene, you have to remove it or replace. So that happens with Devin too. Devin is good for being a team member. It's good for being a team member, but it can't take software developers' jobs. Rather, software developers are supposed to find ways to embrace it, because it is the future. It is something that will make our work faster. So just like the instance I gave about having a project that was supposed to take 3 weeks and you did it in just 2 days up to deployment. I mean, who wouldn't want to look up for that? Because it means it's going to create more time for software developers to be able to bid for more jobs, to be able to get more tasks, to be able to complete more tasks, to be able to and do all these things efficiently. And so in the end, it's not about Devin handling those tasks on its own, because I strongly believe it's going to be very, very difficult for us to have Devin do that. But what I also believe is that Devin and every other AI software out there requires human input. Forget about the fact that they keep saying it's going to learn from us, it's going to adapt and apply those things that we keep giving it, and it's still going to need us, because things like software development and some of that, like every other tech out there, comes with trends. There was a time when if you are typing HTML code, days of software like Dreamweaver by Adobe, you have to include on the header tab, you have to include doc type and one long code that I've never learned, I've never crammed it. All I know is that whenever I wanted to deploy HTML, or whenever I wanted to like create a HTML page, I just needed to just go copy from wherever it is that I had already kept it and put it there. That was the norm. But fast forward, you don't need that, because browsers have been made to optimize and do all those things on their own. So if you have been feeding your Devin with those doc type codes or some other code that is the rule of thumb as at now, then time will come when that would be outdated. Time will come when that wouldn't be needed anymore. In fact, that might never be needed anymore. So if Devin has already learned from you that you always put some doc type or some other codes or whatsoever it is that is considered the best practice, it's not going to work for the future, because it still needs humans to tell it things have changed. This is how you do it now. And the best practice is this. Secondly, Those people feeding Devin are not just going to be lay people. Yes, a layman can just say, I need an app like Facebook, or I need an app like Twitter, X, and it's going to just bring out a result, but it can never be a good result. But if you really need to have like the kind of result that you dream of, then it needs a human also to be able to tell it the specific description. Like, I need a button, I need a page to be able to log me in to a certain dashboard. But this dashboard should only be shown if I have such role. And if I don't have an account on that page, it should lead me to a page where I'm going to register, like using some details. And if I am to register, this page is this info is to be added to a database that you're going to create under a certain table. I mean, those conversations you have with Devin are not just conversations that a layperson with no experience at all is to have with any AI or anybody. So yes, it's fun. It makes you almost feel like Iron Man conversing with Jarvis or telling Jarvis to create some new Spider-Man suit. It's fun, but it can only be so much fun when you have that knowledge of what you want, and you can only do that to the specifics when you are a software developer or some sort of a tech enthusiast or a very good layperson, which in the end doesn't make you the layperson in that aspect, right? So for the current stage of development, Devin is still in the beta phase. Let me put it that way. That's past the alpha phase testing, and it's currently just being out there for every other person to test it out and push it to the limits. That's the aim. I feel the main reason why Cognition is still yet to make this official, well, it is official, but the main reason why they feel it still has to be on that phase is because they are trying to factor in some of those ethical considerations as well.
So to access Devin AI, all you need to do is go to cognitionlabs.com, where you will just get access to this page, and it's currently not so public out there, but you can always join the waitlist by clicking on this to fill a Google form. And if you have been accepted, you can just have access to the testing, the workbench, and to have more access, like to get more info about Devin, you can just go to introducing, like, Devin, cognitionlabs.com/introducing Devin, and this is where they talk about so many other things, like what they have used Devin for and what Devin can do, just an overview. And this is on their website, so you shouldn't expect to get anything negative. That's the honest truth. Don't avoid falling into the trap of websites like this, because as Devin is so popular right now, there are people who have created a domain and it's devinai.ai, and when you click on this, I mean, I even went further to create an account just to see how this works, and honestly, it's nothing. It's no different from accessing ChatGPT and using ChatGPT for this. You can just try it out, and I mean, ChatGPT is even way advanced than this when you actually use it for coding. And apart from that, I mean, just use it and let me know in the comment section what you think. But this isn't Devin. That's just the disclaimer I'm trying to give you. This isn't Devin. This is just some people trying to take advantage of the popularity that Devin has right now due to anticipation and trying to just leverage on, I don't know, the traffic, which I believe is currently working well for them. So that's it. That's how you can access Devin.
So in conclusion, let's discuss the future of software development with this new AI coming to town, and I'm sure others might follow suit. Um, yes, the nature of software development is definitely going to change because it's going to be more about using natural language instead of typing codes or just notice how I just gave an instance with a login key. I never mentioned any code out there. I never mentioned any semicolon. All I did was just speak of what I want and being specific, and it's going to do that. But the thing is, that fear that people or software developers or software engineers have, this might take their jobs. I mean, it's just people over exaggerating the situation because on a personal note, I feel it's not going to take our jobs. What I feel is that it's only here to help us do our jobs faster, and we would mainly just be the people who are behind the scenes, and that's it. But the ideas, creativity, and all those things still come from humans because no matter how intelligent a robot gets, no matter how intelligent an AI gets, it got data from humans, and it's not going to be it's not going to just depend on the existing data to stay relevant. It's going to continue spitting out or just reformatting the existing data unless it will feed it new data. It's not going to create new data from the existing one. I don't know if that makes sense, but if there is a new rule of thumb on how to do this, AI on its own is not going to implement that new rule of thumb to say this is what needs to be done unless a human feeds it with that data. So if you keep using Devin to adapt to your style of code, then if there's anything new, you still have to be the one telling it, all right, listen up, this needs to stop because this is the new way of doing things. And we'll see. I am actually excited about this. I'm excited about the arrival of Devin. And I don't know, your opinion might be different from what I think. And I would like to just get it in the comment section. But as always, this is still my personal opinion. I would like to get yours. Let the conversations begin. So I'll see you in the next video.